Hello Linux lovers, my name's Wimpy, welcome to my world. Right, okay. If you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, this was originally streamed live on twitch.tv/Wimpy's World. So if you want to join in with the rest of the community, some of whom are here already, then give us a follow over there, twitch.tv/Wimpy's World. Hello, good morning King Egypt, hello Mindy, hello Mac, how you doing? Welcome back. Today's stream is going to be this. All of the parts have arrived. I say parts, it's basically the case for this SteamOS console that I'm building. I think it is built. We'll take a look at that. I've got some, hopefully it will work, ways that we can actually look in around and how this was all put together. And once I've explained the choices that I made about the hardware and how it's assembled, I can hear the next door neighbours with their sellotape. Can you all hear that? I don't know. I suspect you probably can. I can't shut my door. I will melt if I do that. But if once I've gone over sort of the hardware choices and all the rest of it, we'll have a go at installing HoloISO, which is a SteamOS distribution, and a couple of days ago they released a new stable build. I've never installed it before. I don't know if I need to read a wiki because it's based on Arch Linux, by the way. So we'll see how we get on. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Hey, Padza, how you doing? So, Mac, what's up? I've somehow left my Discord. You've somehow left the Discord. Well, don't do that. Join straight away. You want to be in here. Look, here we go. You want to be in that place right there. Right then, let's take a look at the overhead view, but I have another way of poking around this. So I only ended up ordering 2 things to complete this build. Everything else was made out of my spares, or stuff I had on the shelf. And of the 2 things that I've ordered, I've only used one of them, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But this is it built. There's not much to see from this angle, but I do have a plan. So it's in the case that the chassis came out. I built inside just like a chassis cage. I've sat it back in the base, and the lid slides on top for sort of an indication of thickness. This is the lid that slides over the top, and I think that's about 7 centimeters high. So it's quite a slimline device. So it's about 35 by 32 centimeters, and about 7 centimeters tall. So quite compact. Changes that I made was to this fan. I took the stock fan off and grabbed one of my static pressure fans, which is 25mm tall instead of the 14mm. That blows down onto the fin stack for the CPU, as is traditional. Good morning, Yannick. How are you doing? I see Yannick is using the commands to find out WTF is going on. Yes, or you can just do bang sup, and that will give you the answer as well. Hey, Marius, how you doing? So I'll look at that in a bit more detail in a moment. This is the GPU. I'm very happy with the coincidental amazing luck I had with this. So that's sat here. What you can't see is that underneath the GPU, you can just see the corner of one here. I've got 2 120mm case fans in there that I salvaged from my old i9-9900K build, which I haven't been using for some time now. This has worked out better than I expected. The one piece that I ordered that I haven't used is this. This is a mini 4-pin to 4-pin PWM adapter. My idea was I would put this onto the GPU fan header, and run these case fans based off the GPU temperatures. Now, as it happens, I'm not doing that. So I'm rather fortunate in that I can remove all of the fan headers from the GPU and it still works. My understanding is some Radeon cards won't even like boot up if they haven't got fans attached. This one works fine. So I'm actually running these fans off the fan headers on the motherboard, and I'll explain why I'm doing that in just a bit. So you're looking forward to some FOSS Talk Live? Yeah, not this year, Marius, I don't think. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back. Welcome back. Right, okay, so I'm going to try and use some technology to take a closer look at some of this. Let me see if this is going to work. I've picked up my phone, and I'm just saying do some things. Okay, right then, let's see if this works. This should work. If I do this, there we go. This is in a bit more close up. So there's no good way to do this, but I think I've done the best I can with the cables. I've stripped out as many power cables as I don't need. So I've just got the motherboard power. This is EPS, which goes up to that top corner over there. And then there's PCI, which goes to these two 8 pins for the GPU, although the GPU's using 1.6 and 1.8. So this is the fan replacement. That was a 14mm fan. I've put a 25mm fan, which just fits. And because it has a massive fan cable on it, you can see I've looped that inside the screws that hold it down. And then you can see here I've run the EPS cable along this trench here. I haven't fastened any of the cables down. I've been able to avoid having to cable tie anything, which I'm quite pleased with. At the back there you can see that's the coloured wire collection at the back is the HD audio on the motherboard, and I actually run that behind the PCI riser for the graphics card. So that runs down that little channel there to keep it out of the way. The case fan header has got a Y splitter on it, which came out of one of my Noctua fans. So that means that I can actually run the fan. I've got the fans, the big case fans facing this way, the cable's facing this way. So they just have very short cable run to the motherboard, one of the reasons why I did it. And then this is the only sort of it's difficult to know what to do. This is the only little bit of cabling that I have to be a bit careful of when I put the lid on, but generally I'm pretty happy. And then you can see under there's those two 25mm fans, and they are exhausting, and I'm not sure I can get down low enough, but they almost what did I just do? No. Is this gonna... I may have accidentally hit the stop streaming button. The difficulty of having so much stuff on your desk, I managed to hit stop streaming. Let's let's just deal with the fallout of that. Right. Whoa, and now that's loud. Gosh. Okay, I think everything's back to normal, but that was fun, wasn't it? Right, okay. So, I was showing... gosh. Oh, there we go. I was showing that these are down here, and you can see they don't touch exactly, but they're very close to the fins. And then one other thing I did was... this GPU is obviously elevated, and it's just using the riser and the screws at the back to hold it in position. So it did have, or it does have, a little gizmo here which was on a rail, a slider down here that you could, like, it's a sort of a wedge shaped piece to act as a sort of a GPU prop. And obviously I can't put that in because I've got these two large fans in here. So what I did is I turned it on its side, and I've screwed it into the corner of this fan here, and the GPU now sits, or the fin stack corner sits on that. So that just stops the back of the GPU sagging down. So that's kind of the build. Don't push the red button. It's yeah, accidental. Sorry about that. Hey McPhail, how you doing? So that's the build. This is the 5700 XT GPU. I'm delighted that that fits in the case. I think I'll just switch to the overhead view so it's a little bit easier for me to manage. And I completely lucked out. The fact that I was able to de-shroud that, the fact that it is now essentially a 2-slot card, the fact that it fits perfectly in here, that I can get 2 large fans underneath it, and that little wedge is just the right height to actually stop the back of the CPU or the GPU sagging and putting too much stress through, because this is a Ryzen board. The PCI is here. This is what goes into the motherboard. So that, and then it's a a connector here to get the GPU into it, and this is screwed into the chassis, this Ryzen board. But I'm glad that that's there, because it means that this is rigid and there's not too much pressure on the GPU. So I know McPhail has been interested in like the fans and the fan noise. That's something that I'm sensitive to as well. So I will explain that currently this CPU fan, this is Noctua. This is their like budget line. They're called the Redux line. You don't get any extras with these. They're about half the cost of the regular Noctuas, but you don't get any of the extra anti-vibration pieces or additional cables or anything like that, or additional screws. You just get the fans, but the performance is on par with the the high performance fan in terms of the low noise, high airflow fans. So this is a static pressure fan. This runs at 1700 RPM and it's only about 17 dBA, so pretty quiet, and I run that at full speed. It's just in the BIOS I've said run this fan at full speed, and it's whisper quiet. You can't really hear it, and it's a very low noise as well, low register I mean. And similarly, at the moment, these 2 large fans here, these are Chroma Max, so these are the black equivalents of the brown and beige fans that you can get. Their performance characteristics are very similar. But again, at the moment, I've currently got these to the case fan header, and I'm running both these fans at 100% all the time. And again, because of their size and relatively low RPM, I think they are 1500 RPM, you can't hear them. So, or at least it's very, very quiet. And I suspect with the lid on, it will be quiet enough that you won't know they're running. So at the moment, my intention is to have all 3 fans running at 100%, or once I get it home, if I turn it on at home and I decide it's a bit too loud, I think I might just set a fan curve which is static, which just runs them at a constant rate that is appropriate to cool the things and not make too much noise. So I can't believe I pushed the stop streaming button. I need to have a prompt before that does anything. I think we've just learned we need a safety net on that. So that's what I've got so far, and I think we can turn it on in a moment. I'm just gonna scroll back. Yes, yeah, the phone cam is working a bit better. I think that's on account of having an iPhone now. That stuff seems to just work better. Right then, de-bearded. No, we're talking about Luke here. Okay, I'm just catching up. Sorry about that. Oopsie with the stop button. Right, okay, well, let's get into it.
Thank you for the follow, Smokey McAugust.
Hello, Smokey McAugust. I like that name. Smokey MC August, maybe? I don't know. Right then. You're late. But that's a neat build. I wish I could build something without cables going everywhere. Yeah, so one decision I made is...
Thank Thank you for the follow, geek_almighty.
I like that username, that's great. So one of the decisions I made is there was this sort of piece that goes here where you can get an SSD down either side of this bridge, and I've used NVMe SSDs. One is here and one's on the back of the board, and by removing this entirely, that bought me quite a lot of space to just tuck cable, excess cabling away. So that was good. And also another thing I was lucky with is I'd happened to buy this small form factor power supply is a Corsair 750 Platinum. One of the features of the Platinum is you get these braided modular cables, so I can remove the cables that I don't need out of the back of the PSU. So I've only got 3 sets of power cables, and because they're braided, you can run them very neatly. So that was, everything worked in my favor. It was just good luck, So I have wasted £3.49 on this, so maybe one day I'll get to use that in something else, because I decided not to use the GPUs to control fans at all. Right then, so I've got a USB stick here. I've put the current build of HoloISO on this. So I think what we'll do is can you hear all of that tape in the background? Just let me know, because I can hear it. And if you can hear it and it's annoying, I can shut the door a little bit maybe. But not too much, because I will expire. So we're going to have a go at installing this. I've never installed HoloISO before, but the idea is that we'll actually try and get this up and running and see how it looks, how it works. So I've got a games controller plugged in. This is a black Google Stadia controller, which is audible. Okay, thanks, Paul. I'm really not going to close the door much more than that because it is still boiling. So let's turn the box on. The power switch is here. So we'll do that. Start spamming the delete key and get the capture screen up. And we should be able to capture the box. There we go. So this is the BIOS for the machine. If you were here the other day, you'll have seen this. I was talking about overclocking and undervolting, and again, ostensibly that was done to lower the power targets and what have you, so that it runs a bit cooler and it's easier to manage the heat. So if it's the wrong keyboard. I'm going to put this keyboard now up here so I can try and do this. So let's will that have dynamically picked up? No, it hasn't. Okay, so we're going to reboot the box and spam delete again. Box on, stream down. I hope not. Stream's still up, right? Okay, so let's have a look at boot. And okay, there is the Corsair device. Can I override the boot device here? I think I can. So let's see what happens. There we go. This is it. So I didn't push anything. It just went. What was on the screen there? That didn't give me any time at all to choose anything. I assume it's doing something. Here we go. It's booting. Well, I don't know what it's doing, but it's doing it. So I've got 2 SSDs in here. A 1 terabyte SSD, which I'm planning to use as the root, the boot device, boot and root, and then a 2 terabyte SSD. And my hope is that I can use that as home. And I don't know if this, in air quotes, installer will enable you to choose multiple disks and what have you. But we'll figure it out. If not, then we'll have to manually create that file system and rsync, the home directory over. So hang on, I now need to use the correct mouse as well. So here we go. What have we got here? Install SteamOS Return to gaming mode. CH root to your HoloISO. Show the onboard screen. Okay, well, let's just try install. Okay, well, that's doing stuff, updating. It's been a while since I've used Arch, as it happens. I used to be an Arch Linux developer, by the way. Oh, wow, what have we got here? Select the items from the list below. Bare bones will install SteamOS 3, root file system, and hooks. Deck experience will install full SteamOS, including game scope. Well, I want the full experience. That's what we want here. Let's do that. Okay. Select your disk to install. Okay. So the Force MP600 is the smaller drive, and that is NVMe 1, curiously. So click that. Okay. Erase the entire drive. Go. And what's it going to do here? Create. Okay, so it's going to create a EFI partition by the looks of it. Okay, go for it. Who's installed this before then? I think someone said they'd recently installed HoloISO. So here we go. It's doing its thing. So conveniently, I had plugged it into the Ethernet at least, so that's working, thankfully. So that's what that looks like, kernels and things that's downloading there at the moment. Yes, King Egypt. King Egypt did an install recently. Okay, so you can be my spirit guide if I go off the rails. So I see Yannick said that I should sign this cable and sell it on eBay for a profit. I could do that, but I get much more entertainment value out of the fact that my wife and daughter fully believe that the only thing I ever buy ever are cables. So when I said there was a parcel coming, it wasn't. It was in an envelope actually. They were like, "Oh," and it was a tiny little envelope, and they were like, "Oh, we thought you'd bought a cable." Tore it open. I said, "I did buy a cable." So yeah, I constantly troll them with my cable purchases. So I think Mindy's making Jurassic Park references here. This is Unix, right? Possibly missing things, I don't know. We'll just assume that's fine. Enter a host name for this installation. Oh no, I hadn't thought ahead. I've got to come up with a name now. Oh no, what am I going to call it? I suppose we should just call it Holo, right? Oh, that's the wrong keyboard. Bob. Bob's no good. Dave. Yes, yeah. I think we'll just call it Holo. I'll need to use the right mouse, I think. Right then, let's do that. And a password for the root user. Well, you all know my password. Oh, that's the wrong keyboard again. I wonder if it will let me do this. Nope. Oh, no. That's not what I want. Enter a username. Okay, there's a little slight flaw in the... maybe we're going to be doing this install again in just a moment. Maybe we'll call this one a dry run. So, a username. Well, it's going to be all of us, isn't it? So, I think we'll just call it... no, let's just see how this all works. Okay. Password. Oh, I see. I could have done this slightly differently, but Okay. Screw up number 2. This stream is going great. Well, you know, you have to hang it out there and get on with it. So, holodeck. Oh, Phil, that was a good one. I can foresee that this is going to be install attempt number 1, and we'll be doing it again in just a little bit, in order to make sure we have things like, you know, passwords on the root account. It seems like something I probably want to have from the get-go. Okay, so this is off grabbing additional stuff again, which includes some NVIDIA stuff. Interesting. So what I think I said on Monday, one of the reasons why I was keen to build this system with an AMD GPU or a Radeon GPU is because the support for NVIDIA GPUs in SteamOS is extremely limited at the moment. So I did have some options, but actually it's quite nice to make an all AMD build, another one. Getting quite into this. Yeah, McPhail makes a good point.
Thank you for the follow Prince__devils.
Looks like I really need the weekend. Yeah, I do. Oh no, where's McPhail's comment gone? There we go. McPhail says, you never install Arch Linux just once. Oh my god, I can't get anything right today. By the way, yeah, I am tired, but I am also streaming over on Slim DevOps later. So we're trying out a new streaming platform, and we're going to be taking a look at how connectors work in the Slim SaaS platform, and more importantly, how to do vulnerability scanning of containers using the SaaS platform, which is brand new, never seen before unless you saw AWS containers from the couch yesterday, where we did our first outing, where we've got some really cool security tooling that we'll be showing off. No, I think, to be fair, Paul, that was so Paul, you know, everyone's pointing out you need to install Arch more than once, but it was my mistake. I did click the wrong thing, but you know, so I'll go back, I don't mind. So it looks like this must be installing all of the desktop stuff. I'm glad the broadband here is quite good. It is fully saturated, so that's quite good. But of course, the other problem with doing this install the second time is we'll have to download all this gubbins again. So none of this, or not all of these packages are clearly like on the ISO. They're clearly reaching out to the internet for a lot of its stuff. Anyway. Yeah, okay, well, Mindy, come and have a look at the stream later. I'll be streaming at 6 p.m. UK time, so that's 7 p.m. Central Europe. Pete will be joining me. We hope it will work. It could be a catastrophe because we're literally changing everything. But if the actual mechanisms for making a stream happen work, Pete and I will be going through some of the new stuff that we've got, and also explaining where we're going with that in the future as well. Oh, have I got it wrong again? Is it Mandy? I think I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I used to have that dialed in, but I may have lost it. Shouldn't you use Nmap? What for? What would I use Nmap for? Being asked, shouldn't I use Nmap? Why do I need it? Oh, what's this? Okay, choose your GPU type. I know the answer to this question. This one I know the answer to. It's the first option. I wonder what it will. I mean, it's doing the right thing at the moment because it's using the GPU. Twitch is now notifying me when to run adverts. It's quite frustrating. I'm sorry if some of you are getting an ad roll at the moment. I run them at the beginning and it does tell me it's disabled for like 32 minutes, but I guess all of you are seeing adverts now. Nothing I can do about that. I could run them manually, but I'm not sure if that's any less annoying or not. Okay, so installation is finished. You may reboot now or type this to make further changes. Press any key to exit. Let's try pushing on the right keyboard. There we go. All right, well, let's do a shutdown. Shutdown. Well, let's do a restart actually, and just yoink the USB stick out once it gets to a finished state. There we go. USB stick out. Let's see what happens now. SteamOS. Yes, please. I want that. What's Linux Neptune? Does anyone know? This is all brand new to me. Loading the initial RAM disk. Okay. Pen testing stuff. No. Noob of Linux. I'm talking about doing assessments of installed packages inside containers to determine what vulnerabilities are unpatched in the container itself, not pen testing. That's an entirely different activity. An Nmap is only a very tiny part of what pen testing is. Right, okay, English, yes. Can I use the mouse? There, I can. There we go, mouse. English. Oh, wow, okay. Which way do I need to go? This way. Greenwich mean. Okay. Right, close enough. We'll use the wired connection. Update may take some time. Okay, so I guess at this point this is like I've got the controller here as well, shutting down Steam. Okay. So Noob of Linux says, oops, I need to use the other mouse for this. Thank you for the info. Neptune is a Linux distribution for desktops. What? No, it was a package. It's no. That's not. That can't be right. Because Neptune is Linux Neptune. It's the name of the kernel package that is in here, and this is Arch based. Oh, hello. What's going on? Nothing to show right now. Okay, sign in. I wonder if I can remember my username and password. My password is test, by the way. I really hope it's test. Sign. Oh, Steam account. Ah, right. How am I going to do this exactly? How am I going to do this? Bother. I can't do this on stream. I've got no means of viewing what I need to see without showing it. And so, oh, maybe I can. Maybe I can. Hang on a minute. Let's try this. Let's try up here, off screen. My account, not my daughter's. Okay. So if I do that, and if I come back here, so oh, hello, that's the wrong thing again. Does this show what I'm typing at all? It doesn't. So okay, let's type in a few characters then. Okay, that's so much that's working, so that's fine. I'm going to have to do one of those Steam two-factor things in a bit, aren't I? Okay, let's try that. And if you want to be my friend on Steam, this is me. So let's try signing in and see what happens. Do I know if it's doing anything? Help, I can't sign in. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Oh, now it's doing it. Okay, so I need my code.
Thank you for the follow, Kudagatsune.
What am I doing now? Two-factor. Oh, but I have to do that by running Steam. Have I got Steam on my phone? I don't know if I do. Let's find out. I do. Okay. Okay. Right then, we should be in at this point. Well, this was pretty painless. There it is. Welcome to SteamDeck. Brilliant. So this is very much like the SteamDeck, but it's not. Before you start, let's Quaker press any button. Okay, so I'm picking the controller up now, and I'm pressing any button. Well, that did something. Press any button. This is the quick access area. Okay, up here is power. Over here is the volume. And last of all, down here is the micro SD card slot, which I don't have. Okay, have fun. Okay then. Well, there it is. That's flipping great. Should we install something? What's not too massive? Hotshot Racing isn't too massive. Okay. It's doing its thing. You can see something at the top which looks like progress. Isn't clear exactly. Yeah, so this, I guess so, Yannick. I'm assuming this is basically like the Steam Deck experience, but you know, on this machine. Just bear with me a moment. Being very careful with what I push on the Steam Deck now. So, let's click up here. This seems to be my progress. Yep, so Proton is here, look. And Hotshot Racing. Downloading. Okay, so it's downloading that. Here we go. Now it's just starting with Hotshot. So it looks like it knew this game was a Windows game. So it has downloaded like the stuff that needs. So what do these bits do up here? What's that take us to? Family view, cancel. We don't want that at the moment. What's this? Cancel. And if I do this, so how do I get back to... if I push that button. Okay, so that's how I can get to the various places. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we can see what the progress is with that. This is working rather well. Yes, I'm very well noob with the Linux. Hot Wheels I have as well. It's a slightly bigger game. I chose this because it's relatively small, so it shouldn't take too long to install. So yeah, my feeling is that, you know, I wanted to make a console, and when I recently learned about HoloISO and SteamOS, I was like, well, this is it. This is, if you want a console experience on a PC, this is surely the way to go. So that's why, you know, I'm trying this out. And, you know, Yannick's asking questions about whether it has Proton. It looks like it does, which is why that was my expectation that it would do. So are we nearly done yet? Oh, hey, what's it downloading now? 1.66 gigabytes. What on earth can that be? This game was like 700 megabytes when I first installed it. What's it downloading now? Game content. Huh. Really? I'm very surprised that this is as big as this. This game used to be very small. Or maybe I'm thinking of the other one. Maybe I'm thinking of... well, let's go and find it. Right, let's use the controller. Let's not get into keyboard and mousing too much. So if I go into my library, all games, the other game I was thinking of is another little racing game, which is, I think, a lot smaller. Can't see it. This was quite fun. I was playing that the other day. Horizon Chase Turbo. This was the one I should have installed. This is, mind you, that's still 1.25. That's bigger than it used to be as well. How interesting. I wonder why that is. Anyway, I kind of quite like how this works. This is nice. So, installed games. Down here, we can see what the progress looks like. So, what I'm thinking is under the hood I may have to... I'm not going to do this right now. But go and partition the second drive. Format that. Add it to the FS tab. And then mount it as home so that the games and stuff are on the larger drive. So, I see there's some chat scrolling by here. So, let's have a look here. Was worried about downloading packages earlier. Sheds no tear over downloading games. Your office nightmare. You're an office. Right. Okay. So Yannick says, oh gosh, where's that? So Yannick asks. So for someone who doesn't want to build such a machine, what kind of off-the-shelf machine would you recommend? Well, at the moment, I think the first absolute requirement is it either has to be an AMD APU or something with a Radeon card in it. So if it may work with Intel integrated, but from what I've read, your best chance of success is it's AMD for the graphics. So whatever you can cobble together with AMD graphics. I do have an RX 580 down here, and that's a much smaller card, and it's quite capable. And the reason I didn't use it is it generates a lot of heat. So, I mean, any of the APUs will work. You'll just have to dial back your, quality settings and resolution and what have you. Right. Okay. Well, this looks like it's installed. So let's try a thing. Let's tell the music to stop, and let's see what happens when we press play. This game will use the recommended layout. Okay. Vulkan shaders. Okay. External controller translations. Okay. So this really is basically the SteamDeck OS at this point. That looks like the game. And there it is. Press any button to start. Okay, let's have a think. Let's go and play with the graphics options and... Oh, interesting. It thinks I've got a maximum resolution of 720p. Oh, because the Steam Deck is limited to 720p, right? Is that what that's all about? King Egypt, you may know. Is that something you have to change in the OS or something? So let's apply that. Go back. Okay. The game audio seems not deafeningly loud, so we'll just leave that alone. Right then, let's see. I know this game quite well. We don't want to do a Grand Prix. Let's do a single race. Let's do that. Let's choose a fun track. There we go. Who should we be? In fact, no. I like There we go. Well, so far this seems to be doing all the right stuff. That resolution is a curious option though. Okay, okay. Well, controllers rumbling and everything. That's fully supported. Okay. Oh, not used to this controller. Well, this is running just fine, other than the slightly. Oh, also, what I have, I now realise what the problem is. I'm playing this through a capture card. I thought my responses was a bit sloppy. Now I see why. I'm playing this through a capture card, and it is a bit of a struggle, but it's working beautifully. So I know my capture card can do greater than 1080p. So whatever that 720p was is some kind of limitation of the SteamOS, and I wonder how we overcome that. But that's, you know, that's a small issue to dig into. Has anyone answered that question at the moment? This is actually difficult with the capture cards. This was a bad example, but it works perfectly. How do I bring up like the? Can I bring up Mango HUD or something like that? Can I bring that up over the top of what I'm currently doing? So settings. Oh, there's a settings thing there. I wonder if I can tinker with that. Like let's get out of this and see what we can do with the SteamOS settings and see if we can figure this out. So quit, yes. Okay. You can look through the config files. It's on by default, which is 720p or 720 by 800, but it can go up to whatever. So properties, general, game resolution. So you say that as if I know where I'm looking. Where in here do I need to go? Into each game to do that, or is that a global setting somewhere? So Mini Roach is offering me some advice. Is that the settings? No, I don't want that. What's this? Internet settings? No, that's me. Okay, I'm going to pick up a mouse. Yeah, it's a game by game thing. Ah, right. Okay. So how do I bring that up on a particular game? How do I get to game settings? Is it that cog there? Properties, is that what you said? Compatibility. Okay, so this is not what I was looking for. So, but you can. Where was that comment? Go to the properties menu for the game and set higher resolution. Where is the property? Is this the property? Looks like controller stuff. So I will click on that though. Steam input. Okay. Whatever. That's not. I don't care about any of these things. Go away. Stop asking me questions. I don't know what to do. Okay. Next. Close. Current layout. Okay. Quick settings. Fine. Back. So it was. It might be that you have an earlier version of SteamOS. Okay. All right. Okay. So you've seen this on the SteamDeck itself. Is that right, Mini Roach? Because if I go, what's interesting is there's a thing here called settings, which is grayed out. So I wonder what that is all about. And also store. Why is store grayed out? Is this because it knows I'm not on a Steam Deck? So go in there. I'm just pressing other buttons to see if I can bring anything up. No, so Mini Roach says, oh, you don't own a Steam Deck yourself. Okay. Do you have to set your PIN before you can access those? It's possible, but I'm not doing that on stream. So I will have to look at that after the fact. And Gekbull says it requires the PIN to exit the family. Oh, I see. So I'm in family mode and I can't get to the stuff until so I'm not putting my PIN in right now. Okay, so that's something I will have to experiment with after the fact. So the next question is, if I... How do you get to the desktop? Can you get to the desktop from here or what? Search for games or profiles. What can I do with... Oh, hello. Steam Deck rewards. Claim rewards. Okay. Well, I suppose the good news is it's installed and it's something to tinker with now. So the only issues I see are that I probably during the install, obviously I didn't set a root password because I clicked on the wrong thing. So that would need to be corrected. And my family passcode is already set. So, you know, that has a value. So I'd need to go back and do the install and correct that. And the other thing that I think I need to do at install time is probably prepare that second partition, the second drive, create a file system, format it, add it to FS tab as home, so that when it boots up, the larger drive is available there to be used for where all of the games get logged and all the rest of it. And I suppose something I'll need to figure out when I get home is there's a couple of games that my daughter plays where it doesn't have like cloud-based saving. So I'm pretty certain Lego Worlds is in that category. I'll need to figure out how to move over save games from my workstation to this, but that seems doable. I'm sure that's possible. Right, okay, there are some comments. I'm going to switch views. I'm going to do a couple of things actually. I'm going to do that. I'm going to switch views and I'm going to look at some of what's been coming in, because I think maybe I'm missing top tips. So the first was I was in the family view mode and I need to get out of that in order to set things up. So there we go. It requires you to put the pin in to exit family view. Okay, thank you for that. I will do that. And Noob of Linux says, after a quick Google search, step 1, turn on the Steam Deck, then once it's booted up, press and hold the power button, hold it down until a new menu appears, and select power button on what though, because obviously the power button on a PC is very different to the power button on a Steam Deck, I imagine. I wonder if that works. We could find out though. Let's go and have a look. Let's go to capture view. I will hold the power button for a moment and it's going off, I think. There we go. That's shutting down the machine. There we go. Machine is off. So that doesn't work the same, clearly. So I wonder what the key combination might be. What's these advanced options? Is that just different boot options? Okay, that's fine. We don't mind about that. So there must be another like controller combination or something to get into the desktop mode from here, because we did choose the version that installed the big old desk. Oh, hello. Maybe it didn't like me just turning off in the installing an update. Oh wow, check it out. Maybe maybe some other things will turn up. So I was being told there was a power button in SteamOS. Ah, there wasn't there? That's a very good point. That's a very good point. Well spotted. So Geek Almighty said that there was a power button in SteamOS itself, and you're right. So let's go in there and try that. So if we bring up this menu, yeah, here we go. Well done, Geek Almighty. You win. Congratulations. That's excellent. Thank you for that tip. So let's well, actually, before we do that, I'm curious now. If we go to the library, we've got this one game, right? I wonder what we can do in here now. Remove manage. So there's, and then properties. So there's still nothing in here about resolution, as best as I can see. Okay. So that still needs some investigation. Takov says, I found a promising build of FFmpeg which ticks all the boxes. Ticks all the boxes for, oh, for Retro Home. Yes, I think I found something. Send me details in Discord, Takov. I will take a look, but I have found something as well. We can compare notes. There is a game resolution in general. Okay, how do I get there? Tell me how I navigate to this place. I'm assuming it requires I get into settings, right? Which I'm not going to do now because I'm not going to put my codes on screen. On the game page.
Thank you for the follow, Aya.
On the game page. You're going to need to be more specific. What's the game page? Click the cogwheel, as I did. There we go. Okay. And it was a new line that wasn't there before. Okay. Oops. Whoa, hang on, it keeps exiting now. What's going on? What is going on?
Thank you for the follow, Nick_near.
Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. We're just fumbling our way through HoloISO, which I've installed on a PC here, which I'm going to use as a games console at home. We're just trying to figure out how to use it. Oh, there we go. Right. What am I missing? Properties. General. You said that there was a cog properties general. Ah, game resolution. There it is. I couldn't see it. Couldn't see the wood for the trees. Hello. That's what we want. Some of that. Set the resolution for the internal and external display. Sure. This is so. It's going to be interesting to see how Steam adapt this over time, or if this version of like the Steam user interface ever makes it to like regular desktop. Okay, thank you for your patience and advice. Let's hit the play button and see what we get this time. So I'm guessing the game is going to start in 720p because that's what the game was actually in last time, but we should be able to now bump the game resolution up to right. So let's go here. Let's get rid of the music. Go to graphics and resolution. Here we go. steadily climbing towards that option there. Perfect. Apply. There we go. That's full screen now. Lovely. Jolly good. Right then, I'm going to have another go at this. See if I can adapt for the rather significant input lag on. I'll just do hard instead of. I'll give myself 4 laps. Let's try the boneyard again. Let's go. So, I know it's possible to overlay Mango HUD and stuff. Does anyone know what the magic incantations are to do that? Because that'd be fun. Because then we'd be able to see. Well, I suppose the first thing is this is nice and cool. None of these heat sinks are hot to the touch at the moment, so that's good. And I know from experience that this game, when it's in the menus, it will actually drive the menu frame rate at the maximum the GPU can manage. So I've seen it upwards of 700 frames per second, and it will eat all of the GPU resources. So this is quite a good one, although it's not a particularly challenging game to render. The menus do the menus do get a bit excited. Okay, this is so difficult. I think I'm several hundred milliseconds. So start early. Oh gosh, it's really tricky. In case you're wondering, I'm quite good at this game, but playing it through the latency of a capture device is somewhat challenging. There we go. Come on, catch up with everyone. Okay. Well, oh, that was too late. I didn't account for my time deltas there. Come on. Get out of the way. Out of the way. Oh dear. Well, this game's still fun though. If you've never played Hot Shot Racing, I don't know if online multiplayer is working. Again, if Yannick's here, does Yannick happen to know if online multiplayer is working on this? Because there was a long period where it wasn't. I don't know if they've fixed it, but as a multiplayer game, this is bags of fun. This game. I kind of miss playing it actually, because we only played it among friends in multiplayer, and then the multiplayer stopped working, and it kind of killed the whole interest in the game dead. Oh, one more lap and I've just driven into the sand. Oh, crunch. Well, other than the latency, I can't quite tell what's going on there, but I can tell that this is, you know, more. I mean, this game can run on a potato, to be fair. I could have quite easily run this on the GPU, on the APU, not had the GPU in here at all. This would have run the game just fine. But what I'm doing here is going to see, I'm going to do a touch test on the back plate of the GPU as I cross the line here. There we go. Yeah, that's all running very cool. Okay, I am very happy with this. There is lots of cool air coming out of all of the places. So for those of you that are joining late, let's just do this. This is the machine that I've built here. It's in a Fractal Design Node 202 case. I've deshrouded the GPU. It's an RX 5700 XT. And I've put two 120mm case fans underneath, and that's cooling the GPU and acting as what will be case exhaust when the lid's back on. And I'm actually using, curiously, a Ryzen 4750G APU as the CPU here, because that's what I had spare. It was the best CPU that I had available. That I also happen to have this heatsink. It's a Noctua low profile heatsink that I've replaced the fan for a static pressure fan that I had from an old case. And so this is being built with the bits that I had knocking around. So it's kind of built to not overwhelm this case in terms of heat and power. And under here, there's a 750 watt small form factor PSU, and that is warm to the touch. I imagine this will be better when it's not that, because I haven't put the feet underneath this to elevate it, and I may get some slightly taller feet. So no Tommy, no NixOS here today. This is, I'm running Arch, by the way. That's what we're running today. Or specifically, we're running the SteamOS by way of the HoloISO project. Yeah, I know, Tommy. I know you're trolling. So this is all working swimmingly. I think I need to go away and learn like how to use this. Clearly, I can't like enable all of the settings because I don't want to do that on stream and reveal my super secret code. So let's have a look here. I see there's some other comments. So what was this? So yeah, yeah, I do have quite the collection of hardware. I occasionally sort of trawl through eBay looking for interesting stuff. And before like the shortages really sort of started hurting, you know, the availability and price of things, I did buy quite a few bits at sort of sensible prices. So had a good stock of stuff. I kind of foresaw what was going to happen during lockdown, and I thought I'm going to buy some bits now. So that's why I stocked up on Raspberry Pi components and various bits and pieces, because I expected that there would be shortages. So I'm glad I did, because, you know, it's only now that the prices that I paid, I mean, there's some bits that I bought during those difficult times, like the 4750, for example. That's a relatively new part. I think I bought that maybe about this time last year, but I had to import that from a systems integrator. Right, okay. I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. Ooh, music's back. So what did I miss? What did I miss and not figure out? So it looks really nice. That last experience I had with full screen Steam was big picture mode. Yeah, I know they were talking a lot about how they'd made a bunch of design changes to SteamOS for the SteamDeck. But this is my first view of it, and this is way better than like Steam on desktop, right? This is like a proper console operating system at this point. So yeah, I think this will be great. I just need to have a little tinker. It'll be a bit disappointing if every game I have to set the resolution. But I suppose that's not so arduous. You do it once and you move on, right? It's not a big deal. Yeah, so it was definitely interesting time. Tommy's saying, you know, in March 2020, told a friend of mine to build his computer back then, yeah, and to pull it out. Yeah, I got lucky. Some people thought I was crazy at the time. I bought an RTX 3090 on day of release, so on September the 24th, 2020, and I paid retail pricing for that. So it was £1,400, I think, and a lot of people said I was crazy because it was too expensive. Well, I tell you what, that turned out to be bargain of the century, because I got that GPU the next day and used it every day for, you know, nearly 2 years. And it is only just getting to the point now where the GPU crisis is sort of over. I think Nvidia is suffering a bit of a hangover because of how they favoured miners for such a long time, and now they've got a surplus of stock and they've got a glut of GPUs coming onto the used market. So I think all of their chickens are coming home to roost all at once, and they're having to slash prices quite deeply in order to clear stock of past the previous generation so that they're ready for the 4000 series release. So it couldn't happen to a nicer company, I suppose. I'm waiting to upgrade from a 1660 Super. Yeah, I've got a 1660 Ti, which I was thinking I would use in this until I learned that the NVIDIA cards weren't good candidates for using with SteamOS, but I did think that I could use that for that. So yeah, I'm quite happy I've actually got a proper gaming machine now. I originally thought that we would put this in the front room, but actually I was discussing this with my daughter, and in my office I have a second desk, and that's got an ultra wide screen on it, and my daughter was saying I should put this games console in there, because when we play co-op games together, mostly it's Lego World, you'll see that's the most frequently played game here. It does a split screen, and on an ultra wide we'll get almost like a full HD screen each on the split screen. So I think she might be onto something with that idea. So I think this may go under that monitor on the second desk, and when we play games we'll still be in my office, we just don't have to use my workstation, which would be cool. I'm waiting to update from a GTX 650. Crikey, McPhail, you really squeeze out every ounce of value from your GPUs. I used to have a GTX 660. I think that was the first NVIDIA card I bought. It was quite some time ago. I bought it second hand. So I think the 700 series had just come out. And yeah, I bought a second hand 660, and that was quite the considerable upgrade over what I think I had integrated graphics at the time. Interference, what's this? I think, oh, okay, interesting. So King Egypt says they think that the 1660 is okay for Holo. Interesting. Yeah, I need to dig into what supported. My understanding is they're using the new open GPU drivers for NVIDIA, and that's why the support is patchy, because not everything current, or commonplace from NVIDIA is supported by those drivers yet. Well, I'm very happy with this. I think this box is going home this weekend, and I'll figure out some of the nuance of resolution and copying games over and what have you, but I feel like this is terrific. I'm just going to reboot it again. So let's do what's downloads. This is that screen. Okay, fine. Let's not updates and stuff. So let's restart. Oh no, let's do this. Switch to desktop. Okay, we have a mouse and a keyboard plugged in. So I believe this should be KDE, right? A version of KDE at least. Okay, so I can go back to Steam. Oh, return to gaming mode. Or open Steam. Configure desktop. Can I do the resolution? I have not used KDE in forever. So it says desktop settings, but I don't, unless I'm being blind, I can't actually see where I changed the resolution. So that must be done somewhere else. Here's a bunch of settings. Appearance, is it in there? Oh, what screen was I on? Oh, I've lost it. Okay, so I don't think it's appearance. I know I'm looking for display settings. Can I see it on screen here? Regional. Display and monitor. There we go. Okay, so this has picked up full HD. That's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah, and the capture card can only go up to 60 Hertz. This one can anyway. Okay, well this is nice. What could I use this for? What browser does it have? Is this it? Oh, install Firefox. How disappointing. Okay. And then I can say, do this thing. And return here. And I saw it was running Steam. So Steam's like a persistently running thing, which is sensible, right? Oh, hello. I've broken it. So. Oh, there we go. Verifying install. Oh, you're curious. Is it just done another update? You have to. Oh, okay, that's fine. Okay. What have I got that's small that I could bung on here? So there was a thing about like clicking around parts of the screen, but I don't see how you can activate those. No. What's media? No idea. Okay, this is... I'm very happy. This is pretty cool. Who else has used... Well, who's got a SteamDeck that has seen this on the SteamDeck? And who's experimented with this SteamOS via HoloISO? Hello, Adjuza, is that how I'm saying that? Welcome to the stream. Hello, hello. Let's go and find something small. This is small, but it's another racing game. That's quite big. Few more in your library. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. You'll notice that a lot of these... Oh, brute force is quite small. Okay, Steam Deck compatibility. Valve's testing indicates that Broforce is... So this is interesting. This game is functional, but might require extra effort. Okay, entering some text requires manually invoking some auxiliary functionality is not accessible. Okay. Fine, thank you for telling me that. That's quite nice, isn't it? So clearly they must be going through these and trying them out for usability and what have you. Hello, Floof Derp, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, I so McPhail is saying that he thinks the guide that popped up, pointing to parts of the screen, was the Steam Deck buttons. Okay, so I can't reproduce those actions, is what you're saying. I'm sure it's all doable. Oh, it's downloaded already. That was impressive. Right, let's go and hit the play button and see if this gets going. Because at no point have I actually said install Proton, use Proton compatibility. It must be, I'm guessing, it's only showing me the games that it thinks is going to work, or it's got that thing turned on where it says just try and use Proton regardless. I haven't looked. I'm just like doing the out of box, seeing how it goes. How is this working? Oh, okay, yeah, this is working because I'm capturing the sound off the capture card. Okay. Because this is quite a loud game ordinarily. So let's look in the options again. So we're expecting to see 720p again, right? Set the resolution. Ooh, quite low. And what can we go up to? Yeah. Okay, this all makes good sense. let's just see. Continue, start new. Whatever, I don't know. It's been ages since I've played this. Play offline, I suppose. Okay. Well, it's working. I suppose. What did I do wrong here? Arcade mode, that's probably it, isn't it? From level 1. Play offline. Okay. What's this? Players can also drop in. Just... Why is it not actually doing what I want? I have to drop out and then it quits. Okay, start arcade mode. Normal. Start on level 1. Play. Well, this is annoying. I can't remember. Okay. Well, XDG session is X11. Are your controller buttons messed up? No, I don't think so. I'm pressing A. Look, I'm pressing the buttons to get to where I need to be. Normal. Choose a level. A. Play offline. Host online. Play offline. A. Oh, hang on. I was pressing the wrong button entirely, McFay. I wasn't looking at the screen prompts. Okay, there we go. Oops. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay. Well, cool. Okay. So, yeah, the buttons are slightly different, aren't they? Ugh. So, maybe that's because this isn't quite exactly mapped the same as an Xbox, but okay. Well, can't complain. It's all pretty bloody great, isn't it? So Broforce, so I go home. So is that going to keep that resident? Is that game like there ready for me to just switch back to? So if I was to go back in here, I can do a resume. Okay, so if I start this game, play, launch it or switch. Aha, this is neat. It looks like you're currently running Broforce. It's not recommended that you run multiple games on once since it can cause performance issues. Okay, I'm going to do this because I'm curious. Curious to see what happens. Yeah, Broforce is a good fun game. It's more fun when there's lots of you doing it at the same time. And I'll be honest. So I'm going to press the home button again. And can I switch to Broforce? I can. It hasn't got the resolution right because reasons, but I can still hear the other game background as well. So it's not. So it's resolutions are a bit messed up, but confirm and exit. What's view game details? Okay, that's that screen. Go in there, go to properties, because we've now learned that we can... Where was it? Was it in general? Game resolution. Change that accordingly. So that's good, because that would be the resolution of the ultra-wide. Oh no, the ultra-wide is going to be something funky, isn't it? Like 3480 by 1440. So, we can do... there we go. That's what we want, isn't it? Okay, wonderful. Okay, that's great. Brilliant. Okay. I am very happy with how this has worked out. Let's do exit that there, confirm, press that button, go to power, and go to shutdown. Oh, there was a sleep option as well. I have to test that. that is looking pretty great, I think. So I think what I'll do is experiment with that at home. I'm going to have to do it solo because my daughter's going away, which is a bit sad, but at least this will be ready when she gets back, so that'll be good. But I think other than getting the other drive working, that's looking pretty good. And this is definitely staying nice and cool. I have no concerns about the temperature. I mean, I know it's been open that whole time. The PSU is quite toasty. But the GPU and the CPU are absolutely fine. I wonder if I could put I took a fan off here. 14mm, 92mm 14mm tall fan off here. I think it's too tall to go in anywhere here. But maybe something for the PSU. But it's not hot, it's just warm. So yes, McVale. There's nothing quite like a bit of overkill. But one of the reasons why this GPU is in here, I installed Broforce because it was small and I thought it would install quickly. But one of the reasons I've got this in here is when my daughter and I play those co-op games. Now, I was just saying, we'll play that on an ultra wide and we'll have quite a bit of screen each. So I think this card will be able to do that for us. And then there are some games that I really enjoy, some of the racing simulations, and that'll definitely benefit. So yeah, I'm very happy with this. If you've got the spare parts, I think it's definitely worth experimenting with HoloISO. It's clearly the SteamDeck OS, so it's kind of incorrect, if you know what I mean. So, Mindy, you're going to have to remind me. Is it Mandy or I'm going to say it's Mandy. I think you corrected me the other day. I think it's Mandy. Was saying that like to boot the main desktop into HoloISO and have a controller with HDMI display. Yeah. I mean, if you're a KDE user, it's not a bad choice, really. I mean, if you like Arch and you like KDE, then why not? But it has exceeded expectations. That HoloISO, I did wonder if we were just going to run into a litany of problems, but that's clearly not the case. So that seems pretty decent. It'll be interesting to see over time if Valve adapt that SteamOS interface to be the way the desktop Steam works, because to me it's a million times better. It's absolutely great. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy with this build. This has gone way better than I expected. Let me just do this again. Allow that. So, just because I can. Oh, no, that didn't work. I have to close this, apparently. Hang up that. Do that, do this. Do that. There we go. Allow. Now it should work. There we go. Oh man, technology's failed me. This was working earlier and now it's not. Bother. Okay. Well, never mind. So I'm very happy with how this build went. I think this could have been a nightmare, but it turned out I got lucky with this GPU in particular. It meant that I could get lots of cooling in there and a decent GPU to boot. So I'm very happy with all of that. I don't think there's anything I'm going to change. I think I've avoided cable tying any cables down. I think I'm going to not cable tie anything, because I could imagine I may need to get in here at periods and fiddle with things. So I'm not going to make it hard for myself. and I think the only thing I need to do from a hardware point of view is at home see what the case noise is like with those fans running. Whilst that was running, the microphone's just here and the machine is here, and there's 3 fans. They were running full speed the whole time, so I think you can probably tell that the fact you could hear somebody pulling sellotape round the corner on the mic, but you probably couldn't, I'm pretty sure you couldn't hear the fans in the machine. It is surprisingly quiet. I think the noisiest fans are 19 dBA and that one's 17. So plenty quiet enough and decent performance. So I'm going to try and run them at 100% all the time. I think that would be wise. But I'm very happy with this. I think I'd like to get a browser in the desktop mode to maybe use for like Netflix and stuff, so I can use it as a more general purpose like entertainment machine. And then of course we're going to be moving over to this maybe next week. So next week we'll be moving to this. This is the Raspad. So this is a Raspberry Pi.
Thank you for the follow, Verazden BMX.
In a, in air quotes, tablet form factor. So this is a 10.1 inch touchscreen, Raspberry Pi 4 inside there, power, charger and all the rest of it. I built this on Monday. I'm going to be adapting Retro Home to run on this. Retro Home is my retro gaming OS for the Raspberry Pi. And the other thing I'm thinking of doing is getting Retro Home to have a Steam Link mode. So this could then be a remote client to this thing, because I think this is powerful enough to be a Steam Link server, for want of a better description. And what I'm thinking is something like this. When my daughter wants to sit in a room and play games, this with a wireless controller connected to this, she could do that. So this is coming up soon. I think I need to do some work on debget and QuickEmu next week, so I think we'll be diving back into those 2 projects next week, and I'll take a little break from doing gaming devices. But then the week after that, it's back onto making gaming devices again. So, you need to trap a wasp in there to get... So, McPhail is saying that I need to somehow introduce some angry insects into this case in order to get the fan experience of the Steam Deck. Yeah, well, I'm pretty happy with how this has turned out. I think that in terms of, you know, fan noise and what have you, I have no concerns. This is good. And in fact, what I will do is I'll put together the parts list. I know it's a esoteric or idiosyncratic because it's built with what I had available, but I will make up a parts list so at least that's like a reference. I'll probably do that on PC Part Picker and also on kit.co. I will share those through Discord, and maybe in a future stream I'll circle back to it. But, you know, I can use that to share my rationale as to why I buy these static pressure fans and why I'm using static pressure fans here as well and not the regular Noctuas. And that's because there are different fans for different purposes and they have different performance characteristics. So I'll try and... So McPhail asks this question. Hang on a moment. And McPhail says, and can it wake on controller? I think that should be possible. I will test that. The BIOS definitely has a wake on USB input. So, like this, it would definitely work, I think, as in it's got a cable plugged into the back of it. But what I'm thinking of doing is, my daughter and I each have a controller. We have several actually, but we have a controller each. And I'm thinking of putting the Windows 10 dongle on this, wireless dongle, and having the controllers work wirelessly. Whether or not when you pair the controller wirelessly, if that sends then a signal through USB to the thing to wake it up, I don't know. But that said, it does just have a little button here to turn it on and off. So I'm not too fussed if it doesn't have wake on controller, but I think you're right. That would complete the console experience somewhat, wouldn't it? And HDMI CEC you mentioned. Oh, that's a good point actually, because
Thank you for the follow, Daz Knowles.
Hello Daz Knowles, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. That's a good point, because actually the monitor that I'm going to plug this into, I don't think has a spare HDMI, so I would have to do it over DisplayPort.
Thank you for the follow, SDFHSWHFDSHFLHJ.
Welcome. I'm not even going to try and repeat that. Are you a spammer? That's usually how those usernames work. Stay alert, moderators. Buy your Twitch followers here.com is about to appear, I think. Right then. Yeah, so I think a few bits. I think what I'll do is I'll do a stream from home when this is installed under whatever monitor I put it in, and go through like what I needed to do to like complete the setup and show it like in position doing all of the stuff, because I think at this point it is literally just a few little tinkers and tweaks. It's not a lot to be done to make this really very good. So I think we'll go here today. Okay. There is a brilliant independent software developer who's I'm a big fan of. So we will... Why does it do this? Oh, I see. I see what it's doing. Okay, that's fine. Right. So we're going to head over here. So I thank you all very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday, where almost certainly it's going to be some live coding again. Probably GetDeb or QuickEmu. But thank you all for stopping by.
Thank you for
have a good one. Stay cool. Stay hydrated. We're heading over to Pirate Software, and I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.